see how this works.
What is the one thing all small business owners want to know? Why is it that what I'm doing isn't working? You see, when you build systems the right way, they work with each other. That's what Founders Fire is all about. We have helped thousands of business owners just like you from the situation you're in to get you real results in real time with a system that we've built that's going to change how your business runs. We're going to help you figure out exactly where you are on that roadmap, and we're going to give you a systematic approach over the next 12 months to fully organize, systemize, and align your business with your vision. This is about you, this is about your calling, and this is about right now. More free time, more impact, changing people's lives. That's what Founders Fire is about, to help you find the freedom and to make the difference that you have it in yourself to make.
Wow, that was amazing. Like this new technology, I hope everybody does. So we're going to just dive in. So welcome, I'm Eric Beck, and excited to get into a topic today that hopefully will be very useful for everyone. And that's going to be systems. You've probably heard me talk about it before. You may have picked up the book, The E-Myth Revisited. That's where I started my journey in business. These many years ago, we'll call that 25 years ago. And really, it's just based on one central idea: repeating a process and getting a consistent result. So if there's any part of your business, or frankly, your life, where you're not getting a consistent result, it's because you don't have a what? A system. Don't say robot. A system. It's because you don't have a system. Now, systems can sound daunting and confusing. Some people think that systems are software. Some people think that systems are to-do lists. But I want to make it really clear today how to build a great system and to give you some encouragement about how to move forward with them. Let's just do some projecting. Hey, what if you built a system every single week for a year? Okay, that was your goal. Every single week, a system. In a year, you'd have 52 systems. But what would you also have? You would also have process equity. How do you build the value of your business? A lot of business owners come to us and say, hey, I want to get my business organized because I want to get it ready to sell. Some people say, I want to get my business organized because I want it to grow. Some people say, just so it's not a headache. Now, this is doable. Is it easy? No, it is not. But it is relatively simple, and it comes down to this phrase: all problems in business are an illusion. Okay, there are no problems in business. There are only missing or broken systems. You can say, well, I've got a lot of problems in my business. And I would just say, how does it feel when you say that? Man, I'm really facing these challenges. I got all these problems just staring me down. What does that do? Now, for some of you, maybe that's very motivational, but for a lot of people, it can be crushing. And that's when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep because you got all these problems. Okay. I'm going to give you a very wonderful, simple solution to make that a thing of the past. Okay. Take that problem and transform it in your mind into a broken or missing system. So instead of saying the door is squeaking every time the customer goes in and out, and that's a problem, I want you to change your worldview to that is a broken or missing system. Now, I don't want to go so rosy as to say every problem, is a blessing in disguise and, Pollyanna and the sky is blue and everything is rosy. No. We do have legit challenges and we need to think of them as what they are. Okay. But if we let them crest over into the, I would say, overly negative, okay, then we can get overwhelmed, we can get buried, we can get bummed out, all of the things. We get more maybe aggressive, or maybe you retreat and you kind of go underground. Whatever your personality is, when the pressure comes, things get harder. So let's revert that. Let's undo it. Let's apply a translation to that moment. It's not a problem. It is a broken or missing system. The problem is not thinking of problems as broken or missing systems. Why? Because if I think of it as a broken or missing system, I can go do what? I can fix the system or I can build the system. Okay, so let's take that squeaky hinge on the door as an example. Hey, the customer goes in, screech. You talk to them and you're kind of like, oh, I wish that didn't happen. And you're done with the customer. Hopefully you made a sale. And they go out the door, screech, and they kind of look at you over their shoulder and you're like, oh, okay. So there's your opportunity to translate the moment. Well, it's a real problem. I can tell how annoyed that customer was. Or that we don't have a system that keeps that door from squeaking. So what do? What we really need to do is just apply some simple techniques that we already know. The first thing is we need to write out what to do. Step one, go to the closet and get the the WD-40. Step two, get the paper towels. Step three, go to the door, spray it, wipe off the hinges. Step four, step five, six, and you're done. Okay. And now, how many doors do we have in our building? Well, let's say we have 10. Okay. All right, great. So then that means we need a rotation as a part of our system. Okay, great. So we've got the how to do it and we've got the when to do it. Let's just put a short little sentence in there that says why we do this. Because well-maintained doors don't make distracting, unprofessional sounds. Now you may think, why would I need to write the why? Oh, let's talk about that. Why would you need to write the why? Because common sense isn't common. Yeah, because future generations or future iterations, at least, of employees, they may not think the way you think. So if you don't explicitly put the value behind the system into the system, then it can get used in ways that you don't anticipate. Let me give you a great example. Back in the, I'm not going to know the dates on this, but I'm going to say the 90s, but it might not be the 90s. This example is in the book Freakonomics. So if you want to know the actual dates, you can go there. So I believe it's Chicago, and they're saying, hey, our inner city kids, they're not learning. And the problem's got to be the teachers. So if the kids score higher on the tests, then the teachers get a bonus. Okay, so this is what I would call naive system building. And you want to be careful about this, all right? It seems obvious that the values of helping the students achieve equal the values of helping the teachers earn more money. See, that seems obvious. I don't need to write a why statement. It's obvious. Is it? And some of you who know, this was reported in the news, I think quite widely in the time. Some of you who know about this know what a debacle this was. So what wound up happening? Did the teachers teach better? No, they didn't. And maybe they tried to, but they were unsuccessful for a variety of reasons, which we won't get into now. The point is that what wound up happening is that many, many, many teachers started teaching students the test, writing answers to the test on the board, so that what would happen? So the teachers would get their bonus. And that's a great example of when we're not explicit with the values of our system, that system can go awry. There's plenty of examples of this, right? But I just want you guys to realize, if you think, hey, I don't really need to put that, why statement in there, you do. So you're going to define what is it we're going to do. We're going to define how often we're going to do that. We're going to define where we're going to do it. And we're going to define why we're going to do it. And the last thing is who. We're going to define who. And that could be a person's name. It could be a job function, but it has to be assigned to some person. So if I'm in the role of facility maintenance, then this is what we call them, anchor activity is what shows up for me. Now, what I've just said to you probably isn't that impressive. And you might be like, hey, what about that thing about not waking up in the middle of the night? Or how do I deal with that? Well, it's kind of the same thing. So let me give you that one and then we'll come back to this. When you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, it's because you don't have a plan. Whatever is bothering you, I guarantee you don't have a plan. There's some bill you have to pay. There's some hard conversation with an employee. There's some, thing you have to negotiate, some project proposal. Yeah. And now you're awake and you're thinking about it. Why are you thinking about it? Because you've not made your plan. First, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and then that's what's going to happen. Shazam. If you actually take a few minutes to get out your pencil and paper and write down your plan, it's amazing how much weight comes off your shoulder. That's a system. And that's the same idea behind the door. And while it is simple and not super complicated, it is profound in its impact. Now you can say, look, doing push-ups one time doesn't really make me measurably stronger. And I would say, never think that way again. Never think that way again. If you're interested in instant results, you are not interested in building long-term wealth. You are not interested in multi-generational wealth, because right now, instant thinking will not get you any of those things. It'll get you a heart attack. It'll get you high blood pressure. It'll get you a lot of sleepless nights, but it will not get you what you really want. What we want is a business that runs without us or without any particular person. Does that mean we don't value people? Sometimes people will say, systems are opposed to people. If I bring in, all this great systemization, what I'm effectively doing is I am getting rid of the need for people. No, that's not it at all. What it should be, if it's done correctly, is we're building a better race car driver and we're building a better race car. It's both. But if our race car driver is sick today, do we want single point of failure, meaning we can't even enter the race? No, we don't want that. So what we want to do is make sure that both are growing at the same time. We want to grow our people and we want to build our systems. It's a lot easier to grow people if you have what? Really good systems, because really good systems are measurable. They're observable. They are, in the main, fairly objective. And that's a great way to grow. I love that phrase. It's not my phrase. I don't know who came up with this one. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. If you can't measure it, you can't grow. Why? Because you don't know what you're doing, you're lost. Think of it as navigating in the woods. If you don't have a map and a compass, right? Man, it's going to be really tough. And your first, thing you've got to figure out is, where even am I? And then I can start to try to get some orientation and navigate. But how much easier with the map? Right. Your business development roadmap is really just a series of systems that do everything, systems that help you and your team know the measurable, repeatable process to get a consistent result. Now, again, did I say you need to go build all your business systems today? No, not at all. How about one a week? How many systems do you think you need? That's an interesting question, isn't it? To get your business to run the way it's supposed to run, how many systems do you think you need? And you probably go, I don't know. That's a hard question. I guarantee you probably don't need 52. But if you just dedicated yourself to business development once a week for 50 weeks, 52 weeks, 40 weeks, you're going to see something that only incremental consistency can bring. And that's really, really key. I love that phrase. Everything you want is on the other side of consistency. So when we look at systems, what are we doing? We're building a little mechanism that is a self-repeating, self-perpetuating, hopefully self-correcting process. Now, I'm going to give you one little extra bonus today because we got a couple of minutes left. And it's this. If you have great systems, it also makes it much easier to hold people accountable and to reward them. Again, we just had the Super Bowl. Some of you are probably very bummed out about that. Some of you might be thrilled. Wherever you come down on that, what would it have been like to play the Super Bowl with no lines on the field? If you said impossible, you'd be right, because the rules require us to know where on the field the ball is located so that people know where to line up. They know if they got a first down. Think about it. Everything about football is made possible by the lines on the field. What does that represent in this little anecdote or this analogy? Systems. If you don't have systems that have measurable process, clearly laid out steps, some clear outcomes, when it's supposed to happen, why it's supposed to happen, who's supposed to do it, how can you help people grow? You can't. You can't say, hey, the standard is A, but you didn't get to that standard. So let's figure out how to train you, help you, support you so you can get to that standard. You also can't say the standard is A and you went way above it. And so, holy cow, that's amazing. Here's a reward. Here's some time off. Here's whatever, right? You see, without that objective standard, we don't have accountability, but we don't have reward either. And if we don't ultimately, shameless shout out here for my book, if we don't make work a game worth playing, that's the title. If we don't make work a game worth playing, people aren't going to play it. And you can say, well, AI is going to take over and automation, it won't matter anyway. It does matter. It does matter because the purpose of business is not the most efficient way of making money. That's not the purpose of business. Sorry, Adam Smith. The purpose of business is to facilitate the daily realization of the calling that you have and that your team has in service to your market. And that requires training and systems. So I hope this was useful for you guys today. If it feels overwhelming, that's okay. Just take a deep breath and tell yourself, this week, I will make one system. And by doing that, you'll put your business in a totally different place before you know it. So hope this was helpful. I'm going to hand this back over to Adam. And thanks for showing up today, guys.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Eric, for participating once again, giving us wisdom. We appreciate it. I want to introduce myself. I'm Adam. I am one of the marketing team members here at Founders Fire. I want to thank you for watching. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I want to encourage you, if you want to stay in the loop, which I know you do, make sure you'll hit the like and subscribe button to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow this thing. So please do that. And also, if you'd be so kind to hit that wonderful share button and let your network know that we have this opportunity for them as well. So, all right, we won't take any more of your time. God bless you. Watch this fun video again, and we'll see you next week.
What is the one thing all small business owners want to know? Why is it that what I'm doing isn't working? You see, when you build systems the right way, they work with each other. That's what Founders Fire is all about. We have helped thousands of business owners just like you from the situation you're in to get you real results in real time with a system that we've built that's going to change how your business runs. We're going to help you figure out exactly where you are on that roadmap, and we're going to give you a systematic approach over the next 12 months to fully organize, systemize, and align your business with your vision. This is about you, this is about your calling, and this is about right now. More free time, more impact, changing people's lives. That's what Founders Fire is about, to help you find the freedom and to make the difference that you have it in yourself to make.